We may be nearing a state of emergency in Golden State, Chiney. So last night, the Warriors hosting the Pelicans. This ended a 7-game homestand for them. Draymond Green back with the team, not on the floor yet. It got ugly so fast.
It did. For so long, the Warriors have been raining threes at home. Now they're getting a taste of what that was like for their opponents because they're doing that to them. And you see Draymond quickly making his impact felt, but I don't know how much help.
No one's listening.
I know. The vibes were a little awkward.
Zion Williamson sticking with it, getting that to go.
But I want y'all to notice, look at the effort on the 50-50 balls. Look at no one closing out to the three-point shooting. No one's boxing out for the Golden State Warriors. The Pelicans did whatever they wanted to do.
The Pelicans had 9 threes in the first quarter alone. 9. Look at that. Outscored 46-27 in the first quarter. That's the most allowed in any quarter by them this season. And they just couldn't stop the bleeding today.
Yeah, they couldn't. And the reality is the entire Pelicans starting 5, they were hungry. They were out for blood. All of them in double figures, 8 on the night for the Pels. That means the Warriors couldn't stop anybody.
Well, and they were booed again on their home floor. Here's what Clay thought.
You guys have been booed each of the last 2 home games. Obviously, you're not used to that. How do you handle that?
Are you supposed to lose sleep over it?
Well, maybe not lose sleep, but
I would.
a little bit.
Yes.
Zion Williamson goes strong to the cup. I mean, at this point, flexing on him just for a little extra measure. They win big. 141-105 is the final score in this one. I'm not a professional lip reader, but that looks like frustration to me from Steph Curry. The Warriors, they have seen better days, and last night it was actually a first in the Steph Curry era here, Wilbon. The 36-point loss was their largest home loss by the Warriors since Curry was drafted by the franchise. Now, Steph and Steve Kerr, they shared their thoughts on the state of the Dubs after the game.
I mean, we have a standard that's pretty evident that if things stay the same, you know, that's a definition of insanity, right? Keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So
I think we're just lacking confidence right now. You get to a stage sometimes where you just kind of lose your belief, and it happens. And that's what's happened right now with our team the last few days. I think we've just lost the spirit, the confidence that has to carry you, against talented teams night in and night out.
That was a pretty blunt assessment from 2 pillars of this franchise.
I was shocked.
Lost confidence?
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. No, they got blitzed. It's like watching the beginning of a fight. When you think they're equals in the ring and somebody storms across the ring and starts throwing haymakers. New Orleans came out knowing that the Warriors don't have any confidence, knowing they're not playing well. Did you see the difference in passion level? That last night, 3 of us were here and we were stunned. Yeah, and Perk predicted he thought the Warriors were going to lose this game all along. But as we sat watching it unfold, I mean, they're not watching it; they're feeling it unfold. And so that's what Steph Curry is referring to in the reaction that you see after the game. But the Pelicans walked across the ring and went sort of Mike Tyson on Michael Spinks. That's what that was. And to see the Warriors get hit like that at home, they are dazed right now. And so who knows how they get out of it. They're taking a standing 8 count right now, if I continue that analogy.
Yeah, so this is the end of a very disappointing homestand. This is a 7-game homestand in which you thought that they may be able to get on good momentum. They go 2-5 on it. They didn't even lead at all in the last 2 home games.
Nope, wire to wire.
The disappointing thing, as you mentioned, Wilbon, the way they came out in this game, they gave up 47 points in the first quarter. I know people are taking Steph's comments and then implying that there needs to be maybe big changes to the roster. I don't think that's what he was talking about. I think he was talking about their demeanor. Perk and I have been, here he goes again.
Why are you
Perk and I have been on different paths here. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't think there's no trade that you're going to make. There's no defensive strategy that you're going to change. There's no lineup change that you're going to make that is going to all of a sudden change the entire fortunes of the team. The only way the Warriors are going to get back to competing at the high level is by getting their core players back to playing their best. And by the way, while Steph is frustrated and saying things need to change, he's one of them. If you look at his stats over the last 15 games, he's in a slump.
But isn't Draymond part of that?
Of course.
Doesn't he make that easier, so much easier on Steph?
Malika, of course you're right. Steph has been in a slump. It's not like a historic slump.
Right.
He's had worse stretches, but even he has not been at his best. And so I don't think I'm getting the sense, I already know what Perk's going to say. He's going to say it's over, blow it up. I don't think that's an option. I agree it's not going well, but their only option, only feasible option is to rediscover what they've already got on their roster.
Before the season, LeBron and Kevin Durant, they hadn't played each other, Chiney, in nearly 5 years. And tonight we get to see them face off for the 4th time in this season alone. The Lakers, they have won all 3 matchups so far, but they were decided by 5 points or less. So break it down for us, sis. What are you watching in this one tonight?
More of that. The games between LeBron and KD have lived up to the hype this season with just how close each matchup has been. But the Lakers have taken the edge in the series due to big fourth quarter surges. So let's dive into this cheat sheet. We all know that the Suns' kryptonite lately has been closing out games. Phoenix ranks last in the NBA in fourth quarter scoring differential, and the Lakers have taken advantage of that, outscoring them by 29 points in the final frame, thanks largely to who? LeBron James. So let's dive into it, and I'll show you exactly what happens on the floor. Again, this is a high-pressure clutch time scenario. Lakers up 1. They go to their bread and butter, a pick and roll between LeBron and AD. LeBron gets to his kill spot, which is the elbow, and he knocks it down. They're going to run it back. Next possession, again, clutch time, pick and roll. Now, this is really impressive because these guys love to make their money in the paint. How many defenders are in front of LeBron James? 3. Is that going to stop him? Nope. Nobody can stop LeBron James when he has his mind that he's going to get to the rim. Now, let's talk a little bit about who they're going up against, because the Suns have been truly impressive when they have their big 3 together. The Suns haven't had their big 3 play together against the Lakers this season. Now, this is a small sample size that we've seen, but when they're on the court, KD, Booker, and Beal have outscored opponents by 8 points per 100 possessions. That's at 8.0 right here. They can really play with anybody. So if we dive into the video again, looking at the Suns, the big 3 right here is highlighted. They're so good because their talent attracts a real gang, a whole bunch of people. So watch this good extra pass. Devin Booker had 2, and they kicked it around. Now, once again, this time it's KD. The double comes. Here's the trap. They kick it back. Now Devin Booker is like, okay, what am I going to do right here? They send another double. This is how talented this big 3 is. And once again, it's another good to great where you pass up a good shot for a great shot, and Bradley Beal is able to get to his spot, which is the mid-range, the midi. So overall, the Lakers have had the edge in the fourth quarter, but when the big 3 for the Suns play, they're winning. They can literally beat anybody.
Yeah, it's impossible really to have a must-win game in January, but this is giving whatever the adjacent of those vibes are. And now we need to look at some legends' resumes. They speak for themselves, right? 10 titles, 7 MVPs for this trio who have defined the last decade plus of basketball. LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. But this is wild.
Look at
all 3 of them.
These records.
They seem to have fallen on hard times at the same time. KD, LeBron, Steph, they've combined to play 100 games so far this season. And for the first time ever, the 3 have combined to post a losing record with that many games under their belt. So when we look at these 3 future Hall of Famers, all of them, first ballot.
Great graphic.
Who do you think has the most chance here of picking their team up and pulling them back all the way up into the playoffs? Not the play-in, the playoffs.
I think we're going to wind up going 0 for 3, but LeBron. I'll go with LeBron to do that. We just saw it last year, but there was a big shift at trade deadline, obviously. The Suns, and we just talked about this during the break, and Chiney is totally right about this. Where's their passion for the game? Low pulse is exactly the phrase. I'm watching them. I'm constantly doing this. Like, when are they going? Did the alarm go off for you guys? Do you know it's now January? Because I don't see that. So, no, I don't see. And it's not KD's team, and he has said that. It's Book's team, and I love Booker. Love him. This iteration, this is not working. With no lead guard, nobody to organize, nobody to insist upon a certain level of enthusiasm every night, it's not working. LeBron has done it, but I think we could go 0 for 3.
First off, I don't think any of these teams are winning the title this year. All right, that's number 1. But of these 3, I think the Suns are the most able to lift up. The Lakers, I know their role players have been injured, but AD and LeBron have been healthy. I think they've missed 5 or 6 games between them. Like, this is who they are. I'm sorry to say, this is who they are. Like, I think they're going to be fighting around 500. Maybe they can get a little bit better. I know Draymond's been out, but the Warriors just haven't been getting good play from their guys. And we've seen Wiggins play a bunch of games. We've seen Klay Thompson play a bunch of games. Looney, they're just not playing well. The Suns have barely played. Those guys have played 6 games. And I know they've got problems, but they have the ability to come together. Plus, they're just, they are more explosive, more powerful. I just think, and I can't guarantee it's going to work with the Suns, but I'm telling you, don't make one opinion on this team. And anything you might say, Perk, might be right. But don't make one opinion on this team until those three of them played at least 20 games. And
are they going to get to 20? Was they going to happen by April?
Well, that's the net-sized fear, the Brooklyn net-sized fear that I sort of hold on to.
Well, I mean, they got to get to 20, and we almost at the halfway mark or to the halfway mark, so time is ticking. I'm going with the Lakers. And Wendy, I understand you saying Bron and AD have been available and they still in this position, but they're in a new position. See, we seeing a lot more two-man game with LeBron and AD. We seeing a lot more of Bron at the point forward position, AD diving to the basket, finishing around the basket because it's so easy for him. We just said last game, 8 of LeBron assists was to Anthony Davis. That's why I'm going with LeBron, because he has the better Robin. Anthony Davis been up there with Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic over the past 10 games when you look at what he's been doing on both ends of the floor.
So, Perk, you said that you think that we have seen Steph Curry win his last title in Golden State.
Yeah.
So, do you think, Mr. Wilbon, that we will see any of these three win, KD, LeBron, and Steph, win another one? And if so, who?
I had such hope for the Suns, and I really thought that they'd be onto something this season that I don't see. No, I don't. And it is not to insult these guys who are all-timers.
All three of them.
They're all-timers.
You don't see any of the three of them winning another.
No, because there's a young posse of players.
Thank you.
You know what? Look, let me just say this real quick. I've always thought, I covered the Dream Team. I always thought that was the greatest era of basketball in my life. I still probably do. These young guys, they're coming to get them. They're coming now.
The YGs taking over the OGs.